Here we go.
Thank you all for being here today. I am so honored and proud and excited to be here on this really very special occasion. It is really an historic occasion. And I want to begin by thanking the church and its congregation, pastor who is here, thank you. All of the supporters who were so instrumental in making possible this day. And I want to thank Diana Blank, the New Haven Legal Assistance Group, and the Yale Legal Clinic, who and members of my office, my team became involved in this case in 2011 when it seemed to be hopeless, when deportation seemed to be inevitable, when a man who spent decades in this country causing nobody any harm, doing nothing wrong, committing no violations of law, would be deported. And so the triumph today is really a lesson from Sujitno and his family. Never give up, never back down, never give up, because the fight is worth it. And this fight was worth it as an example for many others, and for all of us who believe that we are dealing with a broken system. Now, the temptation is to say, well, it had a happy ending, so we should celebrate. And a man as gentle as Sujitno Sajuti probably is almost incapable of anger. But we should be angry. It's not okay to cause someone to be, in effect, in prison simply to avoid an unjust, unfair, cruel, and inhumane outcome. It's not okay for a system to be cruel, inhumane, hurtful, purposeless to millions of people who are seeking the freedom and opportunity of a great country. And what Sujitno had to endure is not okay. He came here to seek sanctuary almost 2 years ago, and he has never been able to enjoy the freedom and opportunity that so many of us take for granted, because ICE would have detained him and deported him. Today's news is that ICE has said it will no longer seek to deport him. It will not detain him because another branch of the government, USCIS, has accepted his application for a visa, a U visa, that is based on his having been a victim of a crime. So his application's been accepted. There are 10,000 of these visas granted every year, and he is in a queue that will probably take about 4 years. He will continue to live with that uncertainty for 4 years, but ICE has accepted that he was in fact a victim of a crime. The Hartford police have evidence of it. Far from committing a crime or wrongdoing, Sujitno was actually a victim of a crime, and he will be permitted to stay in this country. But he never should have been subjected to this kind of cruel, hurtful, inhumane system that has been applied with special vengeance by an administration that seems bent on simply damaging the lives of real people and deterring others from coming in. That is not the America that we know of. It isn't the America that Sujitno came here to find 4 or more decades ago. And it's not the America that we should say is okay. So we can celebrate today. Today is a day for celebration. Today also should stiffen our resolve. Today should stiffen our resolve that we will reform a broken immigration system. That we will not tolerate a system that is cruel, hurtful, inhumane, robbing people of their dignity, forcing them, in effect, to imprison themselves when they seek sanctuary, barred from stepping outside a church that welcomed him. And we should rededicate ourselves to reforming this broken system that is badly in need of fixing. So thank you to all of its supporters. Today, his imprisonment ends. Today, he is a free man, and his family as well. And today, we can be proud to have stood with him, because your courage and your strength made all the difference, really. The rallying around him of this community and state sends a very powerful message that people are better than this system in Washington, D.C. The people of America and Connecticut are better than this broken, cruel, inhumane system of immigration that would deport a man who is innocent of any wrongdoing, has contributed to his community, has worked hard and given back, and today he is free. So thank you all for being here. And I would like to introduce now Diana Blank, who has been instrumental in this work. Thank you, Diana, for all your hard work. Thank you.
I am so heartened to see all of you here today, and I thank you for being here today and for having been here all along the way. I'm Diana Blank. I am a staff attorney at New Haven Legal Assistance and a supervising attorney of the Legal Assistance Immigrant Rights Clinic, which is a collaboration between New Haven Legal Assistance and the Yale Law School. And in that capacity, I have had the privilege of working with a team of students who have committed themselves tirelessly to working with the devotion that the Sajutis evoke to making sure that justice is done for them. That student team is dispersed across the continent right now, but has been frenetically, first of all, has been jubilantly celebrating, and also frenetically working away to catch up with the the developments over the last few days, the last week, and the last 24 hours, and reach out. And I crashed sometime after 1 a.m. last night, and I woke up and fired up my computer and turned around an email, and I got an instantaneous reply from a student who's on the West Coast. So that tells you the kind of devotion that Mr. Sajuti really has brought forth. And we have had the honor of working closely with so many people. We are so grateful for the support of Senator Blumenthal and Senator Murphy, of Attorney General Tong, of City Councilman Castro, and we have had the joy of working closely with Sira, who reached Alok Bhatt and all of our colleagues at Sira, all of his colleagues at Sira, who first reached out to us and said, not only is this unfair, but this is truly unjust. We think this man has legal relief available. And we've worked together ever since. We have also had the joy of working closely with this very gracious and nurturing community at this church, and with so many others, and we thank you for that. I have the students actually emailed a couple of statements, and I just wanted to read them. Hannah Hussey, who's a continuing student on the team, says, after representing Mr. Sajuti through his long sojourn in sanctuary, it brings the greatest joy to know he will walk out today and again participate in the community that he rightfully calls home. It can be hard to find victories in this immigration climate, but today is certainly one of them. And another student on the team says, this is Ala Chakar, says, while this is a major cause for celebration for Mr. Sajuti, his story remains an all too common one for many immigrants in this country who fall through the cracks of a complex legal system with limited access to affordable, quality legal representation. So with the joy comes the sobering reality, and we will continue to work to see that there is no cloud of uncertainty that remains over Mr. Sajuti's head, and to work to see that others are also vindicated, their legal and civil rights are also vindicated. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for all of you. I can explain. Very, very nice heart. I cannot say what it was. It's difficult to say because it's very, very. I have big family. Yeah, there's people helping me a lot. To help me from people who are from 20 years helping, and those until 2012 with us another person also. And by I keep positive. This is as a Muslim, we still believe. We still have to work hard. We pray, but we have to take action also. And action also doesn't mean we pray, there's no action doesn't mean anything. Also that we have to be bold. And when you cannot do anything, pray, and we say, why you don't want to give up? Give up if you die. Only if you dead. You can take you. It's why I talk to someone for 6, and you go and walk, and then he's dead. It's the way that we learn. And in the month of Ramadan, especially the month of Ramadan is very special month. Actually, I spent the past week in sanctuary observing the holy month of Ramadan. Isolated and unable to join with others in prayer. But I keep positive. Because I supposed to pray, cannot be myself in Ramadan. What I do? Take my wife to stay with me. Did that, why don't let me go? I have no choice because I cannot do by myself. Is it fair my wife to be isolated the same like me? And I have reflected the first 2 parts of Ramadan, which are time of mercy and forgiveness. It is fitting that during this 3rd and final street of Ramadan, salvation from hell and living for a long period of confinement, and I'm finally free to rejoin my community. Let me tell you, more than 20 years I have been very difficult because I cannot get what we call the lawyer that fit with my needs. That happened in 2001 and then 2003, and it's not even I have the case to get into for U visa. I don't know that. I really don't have any idea. And it even happened in 2011. Even Senator Blumenthal offered to help, but no lawyer to represent him. Even that help from Senator Blumenthal, lawyer didn't file. When that happened, and this time when I talked to my attorney, he told me before to Diana, I talked to my lawyer. Do I have to talk or not? Talk, not talk, there's no deal. You have to talk. I have a choice to talk. Do you remember that it's a regret anyway? I suppose not to do that, but I have no choice. But in the month of Ramadan, I control myself. This is the rule, and I cannot say negative. This is negative means setan, because good thing, because if you do good thing, you'll bring what we call into sleep, which is my belief, which is pretty praying, and I hope what we've done get the reward. This is whoever done, I know it's a challenge. You remember when President Obama told, if it's your enemy, make your enemy to be your friend. I remember the same thing. The idea is why we always tell you, if you get problem with your friend, with family, go ahead. Because one time people get bad mood, whatever, and come back again. Because in Islam, you cannot get mad with your friend only 3 days, not more than 3 times. This people got to know about Islam. Yeah, Islam is one God, everyone comes to God. Pray in Arabic, because pray, meaning is important because when you get the ideas, thousand articles. It's in the Quran or Bible, whatever. And then every part of the being remembered. Then you get sick, you get better, you're unhappy. And this is the Quran that we have. Every morning, when I see Quran, no time in the morning, I walk down that way, I exercise, and see the light. And how about that? What is the difference when I say the library? Can't find the library. When I was in Colby, back and forth, and I go back home to my country. The same thing, right? Just how to switch from negative into positive is very hard, but you have to train. This is life. Whatever you have to praise God. You say Alhamdulillah. Whatever say Alhamdulillah, Astaghfirullah, forgiveness. People who hurt you or you hurt people. And the last one is whatever happens, you cannot control. Thank you very much for all of you. And our journey is end. I know we will do the DACA. This time, DACA and Senate bill at least has to get into it. But after election will be different. Comprehensive immigration status. So if not, don't get to do it. I really get mad because it's not really right. I lost more than 20 years. It's completely wrong. I'm supposed to do that, but I cannot force. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go together. Well, above all, thank you for being here. And thank you for being here over these past almost 2 years. On behalf of our neighbors, our brother and sister Sujitno and Dahlia. This is what justice looks like. This is what resistance looks like. This is what solidarity looks like.
This congregation obviously could not do the ministry of sanctuary alone. We have been completely dependent on you and many who are not here. We are so grateful to you, Senator Blumenthal, for your relentless support. We are so grateful to you, Miguel, Councilman Castro, to Senator Murphy, who is not here, to Attorney General William Tong, who is not here, and above all, to you, Dahlia, and Sujitno, for your grace, your courage, your fortitude, your gentle humor, your perseverance, your presence. And we are grateful that you are at long last going home, and we know where home is. It is in West Hartford, in this country that has a long ways to go. The moral arc of justice has been maybe a degree, and it has a long ways to go. But the work and the ministry and the faith of justice that is compassionate goes on and on and on, beyond our lifetimes, on and on. And let's be there together and walk together as we continue and as we proceed. Nancy Bergen has been the coordinator of our Chalice Sanctuary team.
Thank you all for being here. We couldn't have done it without you. I want to acknowledge what we call the Chalice Sanctuary team, a small group of determined people who stuck with this. We never expected this to go on so long. The timing, however, would have been great if it was a year and a half ago, but the timing is kind of special for two reasons. One, Sujitno and Dahlia will now be able to celebrate the rest of Ramadan in their faith community. That is so important. Second, we could not have done this without the stellar leadership of our minister, Jan Carlson Bull, who is retiring at the end of this month. And so I am so thrilled that this is coming to a conclusion while she is still here with us. She's just been amazing, and we couldn't have done it without her. So that's really great. So this has been long, and I'll say it's been hard at times, but doing what's right is not always easy, but it's always right, and that's what we did. Thank you.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Donna Stimson, I'm the president of the Board of Trustees of this Unitarian Universalist Church in Meriden. And I want you to know that we do the deeds. We do the deeds that need to be done. I want to thank everyone, but I also want to look forward to having Sujitno and Dahlia live their lives as they should have all of this time. And I want you to be aware that this coming Saturday,
June 8th.
June 8th, we are going to have a photo display of both Sujitno and Nelson on immigration issues. And I encourage you to come and see that display and see how immigration affects folks. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is like my son.
Hey, I'm Alok from the Kinetic Immigrant Rights Alliance, or CIRA. For past almost 600 days, we've known each other before that for a few years. I've seen Sujitno as an advocate in a previous life, in a previous job. Coming to the Capitol, advocate for healthcare access, advocate for immigrants' rights, civil rights, for all people. And then I came to know you better because you're treated like this. You're treated like this, and you're separated from the same communities that you've spent most time of your life here in this country fighting for. You've always been an advocate, and that's always how I've known you. You continue to be an advocate for yourself and others, and I know you're going to continue to be one. I remember one of the first things Sujitno says why he wants to be able to come out is so he can help people who are in a similar situation. And there is someone in a similar situation. We still have Nelson, that's in Sanctuary at First and Summerfield, United Methodist Church in New Haven, who's still suffering under these same conditions that the ICE and our systems have put him under. And these are the injustices. When we talk about sanctuary, it's not just sanctuary in here. This all needs to be sanctuary. This all needs to be sanctuary. People shouldn't have to confine themselves. This man has not taken a breath of fresh air since before he received a letter that says you're allowed to, which shouldn't even be the case.
Even on just saying, don't believe, because when do you remember when they export travel document? Need the hard document. Do you understand? And then I gave. And then
so this is just to say I'm elated because we, from acquaintances and friends, we kind of fuse and have become family. Like Sujitno said, like you're my family.
yeah, the more detention, the more sanctuary, right?
Yeah.
If the more sanctuary detention, the more sanctuary on the other side. It's not fair. If the detention more and sanctuary not.
Yeah.
This either one.
And so while we're elated that you and Dahlia get to go home, we know that we still have to fight collectively to make sure that we're all free. Because yeah, this is an amazing space, and really appreciate the Child Sanctuary team and Diana, our legislators who've been supportive, Attorney General William Tong, and all the supporters. We've been super supportive. None of this could have happened without y'all and the community who have all been present. But yeah, this continues because this is not acceptable. And we have victory here, but we need to transform, you know. So appreciate y'all, and I'd also like to give, speaking of our supporters, I'd like Elizabeth Benton from Attorney General William Tong's office, who've been really instrumental in pushing the Sujitno's case along, to say a few words from the Attorney General.
Hi everyone, I'm here to read a statement on behalf of Attorney General William Tong, who wishes he could be with you here today. I'm overjoyed for Sujitno Sajuti, who can finally return home today after 19 long months in sanctuary. There is something horribly broken with our immigration system, that this 70-year-old man who has lived peacefully here for 3 decades was ever deemed a priority for deportation. This is certainly not a wise use of federal resources. So today we celebrate this victory for Sujitno and his wife, but tomorrow we get back to work on behalf of so many other families still separated by the Trump administration's cruel and irrational deportation regime. Thank you. And I'll add, as a West Virginia resident personally, we're ready to welcome you home.
He's just happy because he gets fed every week because I do the grocery shopping.
You are happy or not? I feel afraid if you are not happy. Not too long, I feel scared. You know,
My name is Steve Alpini. I'm part of this church, and I'm very proud of the fact that we have been fulfilling our responsibility as a liberal religious community to offer sanctuary to this boundlessly positive man, a Job of his time, and I feel very proud for what the church has accomplished and is accomplishing. And I know that there are other church communities, other faith communities out there who are ready to step forward and do the same thing. I see a nodding head from a person who is from the Danbury UU Church, and they're waiting in the wings should the case arise that we need another sanctuary here. Thank you, Sujitno, for being such a...
Yeah, people say that, Dahlia, your husband is sick. No, I said, my teeth only gone. In 2 years, my teeth gone. I'm healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a question over there, Senator.
Senator Blumenthal, is there any developments in the fight against the Muslim ban, in particular the ban that keeps Syrians out who are being pummeled in Idlib, Syria?
Well, the courts, as you know, are addressing it. It's been challenged legally. I think it is unconstitutional. And my hope is that the courts will, in fact, reaffirm the judgments that have been made at the lower courts. And certainly we're going to be fighting it in the Senate. We're outnumbered right now, but we're approaching an election when there will be an opportunity for the American people to have their say. And I hope that they will. Thank you.